That there's the both. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting both possibilities there. Maybe you'll be thankful. Maybe you will not be thankful.
Yeah.
So, what is it inside Ramazan? Who comes out from Ramazan as a thankful person? Who comes out as an unthankful person?
What do you thank? Who do you thank? If someone gives you something,
The one from whom you receive.
you say thank you. Really? So many, they say thank you one time, but they look at the gift. They're more busy with the gift. That's majority, no? Oh, thank you. Oh, this is so great. Oh, look at me. I'm putting it on. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still stuck there with the object, not for the person. The thankful ones, when they receive, what do?
Reciprocate.
You cannot give. They cannot reciprocate to the one who gave you. The thankful one, when he receives something, what does he do? Share. More than share, he gives. Takes and he gives. So it passes through him. He doesn't even take it for himself. That's one of the reasons why Ta'u Zakah. Zakat comes first before Ramazan. Because it's the nature of the man for a thing. This thing is real. Because I'm a thing. This thing is real and it belongs to me. And Allah is saying you have to share. Share. 1/40th. And that's so difficult. For believers. For Muslims. So difficult. They're not giving. So difficult. 1/40th. In the way of tariqat, in our way, in the way of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, it's not 1/40th, it's everything. As Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq gave everything to the Holy Prophet. But that thing there, that is there, there is a person behind it, there is an intention behind it. There is only a symbol, isn't it? It's only a symbol. So although Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq he has given everything from himself, physically, it's a symbol of how he has sacrificed everything in his spirit and everything too. Nothing belongs to him. That's why people are saying he's the first fakir, the poor one. He doesn't have anything. Nothing belongs to him, not even his wife, his children, not even himself. Everything belongs to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And you see Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq is concentrating on the Prophet ﷺ. How difficult is that? That's impossible. For majority of the people, it's impossible. What? To say everything is. It's impossible. It's mind. If 1/40th is impossible, 40 out of 40 is even more impossible. And Allah has to remind again, it doesn't belong to you. It came from us. It came from us. So you are grateful for that. But what does that gratitude mean? Are you grateful for the gift? Are you grateful for us? If you're grateful for us, then it doesn't matter what comes to you. Whether it's a rose or a thorn of a rose. Whether we give you 1 or we give you 1,000. Because you will share, you not only share, you will give. You'll say, so from that physical thing, zakat, saum, then you fast. And one of the most important things in the month of fasting is what? Fitr. Again, because mankind is still very stuck to this world, they say, okay, for you to become fitr, for you to become clean, you fast and everything, you got to pay some money too. Because a lot of people, that's how they understand money. What is that money? Very, very little. And who is that money for? For Allah? Masha. Allah is not in need. Allah is not in need of that money, as Allah is not in need of the qurban, the meat and the bones and everything. He's not in need. It is for us. It is to give to the people who it really belongs to. What is His teaching mankind? To disassociate yourself, from your dunya, from your desires. To say these desires, they are not part of me. It's part of the ego. At least I have to train it. At least I have to step on it. At least I must control it. What is the use of the man who gives millions and he still has greed in his heart? What is the use of a man who gives billions but he's still a stingy person? There are so many who give millions and billions and very stingy. Yeah? That stinginess, it is there. Because that generosity, it doesn't come with how much too. The poor person who gives, let's say, $1 is more valuable in the eyes of Allah than a millionaire who gives millions. Now this, you're going deeper inside to see what goes on in your heart when you give. And what is the intention when you give? And Allah, when He gives, does He ask for anything back? No. Allah, when He gives, He doesn't ask for anything back. And if we say we're coming from Allah, why are we not going back to that divine nature? This is what Tariqat is teaching us, how to go back to that divine nature. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the khutbah saying, maybe some of you will be what? Some of you will be thankful. So when in the khutbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, in the hopes that you become grateful, understand now the lutuf, the delicacy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That He's giving everything. And He says, Inshallah. Some of you will remember me. Understand the delicacy of Allah. That Allah is going out of His way, showing this let us say, this side of Him that He has not shown to any other ummats from before. No other ummat. That He has shown this side of compassion and mercy and generosity. Earlier ummats, He's not showing that. But to the ummat of His beloved one, to the ummat of the Akhir Zaman, He is showing that. And still, because the Quran al-Karim came to the ummah of the Akhir Zaman, not for the early ummats, it's for us. Still, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His delicacy is saying, I give you, and everything is for you, but maybe some of you will be grateful. Which is why that old man who sat and is crying and say, Ya Rabbi, make me to be that few, make me to become the very few, over and over and over and over again. And Hazrat Umar, you have to understand, Hazrat Umar is the one who's standing firm against bid'at. Anyone who's trying to do new stuff. Don't think they didn't try that time. Of course, now they accuse Hazrat Umar of making bid'at. I say 20 rakat is bid'at. They're saying, some even saying the whole Tarawih is bid'at. Because 21st century man with religious knowledge but without guidance, they have become the most tyrant ones, zalims. They dare to say these things and still in Allah's lutuf and mercy, still not touching us. Right? You think this virus is something, it's nothing. Still not touching us. That had never happened for over 1,300 years. Never happened. Anyone who's daring to say that about the Khalifa, anyone who's daring to say that about the Khulafa Rashidin, anyone who's daring to say about the Sahabi Kiram, nations will go to war.
because you're there. But now, millions. And when we talk about the scholars of the Ahris, of course we're talking about the scholars who lead the Ummah astray. No idiots, ahmak people. Sometimes they say, oh, they are the ones only criticizing the alims of the Akhir Zaman, and they are good scholars, and why we're saying that. We're not talking about this, bruh. We're talking about the warning that the Prophet is saying 70,000 scholars who are on the wrong way. We're talking about the wrong scholars. If you're dumb enough not to know the difference, I cannot do anything for you. Go sit down somewhere and wait for the angel of death to come. We're talking about the wrong alims, and there are so many in these days, and they're leading millions. We're warning people. And the scholars are the ones, not regular people, scholars are the ones who say, for example, Taraweeh prayer is also bid'ah. There are a lot of people who follow that. And this is one of countless things that these alims of the Akhir Zaman that they put out to say. And they're supported by big money, supported by regimes, supported by think tanks, everything. And they are corrupting everyone. Since when Ahl Sunnat means that you sit back and you let the Sunnat of the Prophet to be corrupted and destroyed. Ahl Sunnat means you stand up to defend the Sunnat, isn't it? So we stop being Ahl Sunnat also. Becoming Sufi. I love everyone. MashaAllah. That kind of Sufi, you'll pronounce takfir on Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. You'll pronounce takfir on Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Osman, and Hazrat Ali, saying, why are you fighting? Why are you hating them? You're supposed to love each other. Become complete empty heads now. So now where were we? The lutuf of Allah for this nation, it is extraordinary. The lutuf is necessary. Nothing that Allah does is unnecessary. The lutuf is necessary because it makes people who are coming from, let's say, animal background, jahiliyyah, to be the highest in civilization. That lutuf is also, that compassion, that mercy is also necessary, because if we don't have that, none of us in this Akhir Zaman, since the veiling of the Khilafat especially, none of us can enter into safety or into paradise. Every one of us will be sent to non-existence, into hellfire too. So that lutuf, that delicacy, and that mercy is necessary. Otherwise we're all, Prophet ﷺ says, 3 days if there is no Khalifa, there is no Islam. So people who are busy with moon sighting, we are living in a system where what we put into our mouth, to what we wear, to what we drive, to everything, because the whole economic system, the whole system of government, the whole system of military, the whole system of healthcare, everything, it is based on things that Allah and His Prophet, they are not liking. I'm using very nice words still. I'm not saying they are haram or it's kufr. But take your pick, whichever words you want to use. And so Allah is still in His delicacy in that ayat, saying that we give you everything, we give you all the blessings, especially in this month of Ramazan, in the hopes maybe some of you are going to be grateful. But as we say, that man who was crying and saying, Ya Rabbi, make me from the very few, make me from the very few, make me from the very few, because Allah is saying, like what we say in that ayat, only the few, maybe they are going to be grateful. This old man was crying, and Hazrat Omar, like we said, he was standing up against the bid'ah. He says, who is teaching you this dua? And he says, Ya Omar, the old man is saying. He's tough, he's not an old man, he's a salihin, he's a saint. Didn't Allah say, only the very few, they're going to be grateful to me? Only the very few, they're going to be humble? only the very few, they're going to be sincere, and I want Allah to make me to become from that very few. The person, that Salih person, is not saying I am from the very few. This is the arrogance, Pharaonic arrogance and Nemrut arrogance that has fallen to 21st century man. Everyone thinks they are sincere. I'm sincere, I read, I go to Umrah, I make zikr, I'm sincere. Who are you to gauge yourself? Of course, when you kill all the teachers, when you took out all the teachers, and you took out the system that gives you the grades, everyone give their own grades, of course. Why not? Right? This is what happened. They took out all the system of wilayat that was ruling the shariat as well. They took out everyone is giving their own grades. Man learning 5 hadiths, he can come up and declare himself to be a saint, declaring himself to be a scholar. And when Hazrat Umar heard that prayer from that one, that Mubarak one, he started crying. And like what we said earlier, Tariqat is training us to become that few, to become that very few. And it is struggle. Tariqat is struggle. It is fighting. If you think you're in Tariqat and you're in paradise, check again. If you're not struggling, check again. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month of Ramazan sending blessings, hoping, Allah, Allah. Which one of my servants is not going to be busy with what I sent to them, but they're going to be busy to look at who sent to them, to be busy with me? Majority, they are praying to Allah to get something from Allah. Only very few, they're praying to Allah just to be with Allah. Sincerely. How are you going to know? How are you going to get this feeling? Whether you are just your relationship with Allah is like a businessman or like a lover. How are you going to know? Number one, yes. Everyone knows. Don't say, oh, so difficult, I don't know. Everyone has fallen in love. Everyone has experienced that love. The feeling that I have to give. If I don't give, then I'm not being true to myself. The real love is not what you take, but it's what you give. It's how you disappear. Everyone knows that, whether it's a person, or it's an animal, or it's a thing. People get drunk in that, no? So Allah gives it to everyone. Nobody can say, I don't know. Now, but to enter into this deeper understanding, how to become one of those few that is not looking to what Allah is sending, but is looking to Allah. That is not looking to what Allah is sending, but to be with Allah. For people of Tariqat, especially in the Naqshbandi way, it is very easy. What is that called? Sohbat. When being in the presence, it is better than getting presents. When you're just in the huzur, then everything disappears and is nothing matters, not time or space or things, but just to be in the presence of that one. Because that one is in the presence of Allah. If you're in presence of, in reality, in the presence of that one, there's nothing that you need. You don't need anything. You don't need to sleep, eat, drink. You just want to be in their presence. So, Tariqatan as-Suhbah. والخير في الجميع. We have to fix ourselves in the sohbet, fix our hearts in the sohbet. Then, inshallah Rahman, we can get a taste of being the very few. It's difficult for us, our Shaykh is not here, because we miss him. But there is a blessing and there is a wisdom to that as well, because it's showing very strongly that nothing else matters except to be reunited with him. We'll throw away the whole world. We'll spend one more second with him. So, there is a big secret to that. We are feeling that. We must hold on to that. And that is the Owaisi way. So we are blessed with that too. It's okay, the separation is only temporary. There is only one screen, one veil between us and him here now. But we must live our life here, and we must live our afterlife with him, together with him, not to be separated. To be busy with the wazifah that he has given us. That time we will be with him. And when it's necessary, he will turn around the corner just to say, like this, inshallah, may Allah forgive me and bless all of you. May Allah wake us up. Murids must be sharp. I don't want any murids to be dull and to be soft. We are struggling in the way of Allah. You cannot be dull and soft. You have to be sharp. We are soldiers against to shaitan and against to our nafs. And the soldier cannot be lazy or dull. We must be awake all the time. May Allah give us that wakefulness, especially in this time of Ramazan, for our spirit to become more awake, for our desires to become more and more weak and more sleeping, inshallah. For the blessings of this Ramazan to carry us through until next Ramazan. May our Shaykh be happy with us. May he forgive us. May we be able to send his teachings and his light everywhere in this world and to help as many people as we can. We are his weak ones, but with him we may become strong ones, inshallah. May hypocrisy leave our hearts. May hypocrite people leave our jamaat. May those who stand in the way of haqq be removed. May murids have more passion in their hearts for this way. May the way be open for us to make more hizmat, inshallah. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum.